This is how to care for snake plants the easy way. Snake plants are known as being one of the easiest houseplants to care for. However, I still hear from people that they manage to kill these plants. So let me explain why. So first, let's talk about light. Snake plants are known as being one of the most low light tolerant houseplants around, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they like low light. In fact, your snake plant will be happier if it is in a place that it receives at least some natural light, such as being close to a window. If you don't have them near a large window where they can get natural light, there's two things you can do to help them to survive better. One would be supplementing their light with a grow light. There are a lot of different options on the market now with different grow light bulbs that can screw into lamps and other fixtures, and that can really help your plant to do a lot better. And that really goes for any indoor plant. Next, we need to talk about watering, because this is the other big mistake that people make, is they keep these things wet for too long. Specifically, they keep the soil wet for too long. Snake plants behave a lot like succulent plants do in that they don't like when the soil is constantly wet. So before you water your snake plant, you need to ensure that all of the soil in the pot is dry. Now, you can do that by taking it out of the pot and touching the soil, looking at the soil. Is it still dark brown? Has it turned to a lighter brown whenever it is turned dry? Some people can tell just by the weight of the pot whether or not it's dried out also. Or sticking a knitting needle or something down into the soil. Similarly, how you check a cake if it is done baking by sticking something down into the soil. And if it comes out clean, then it's dry. If it comes out with dirt clinging to it, then it is probably still wet down there. So all that being said, don't water this thing until the soil is dry. Now, going back to the low light scenario, if your snake plant is in very low light where it's not getting that bright natural light, you need to leave that soil dry for probably as much as a week before you water it again. In a bright light situation, such as a greenhouse or right up next to a window, these plants will consume more moisture. Then in that case, you can just let that soil dry out and then immediately give it more water again. When you water, ideally, you are going to bottom water these by setting them in some water and allowing them to absorb what they want. Or if you do top water, just water along where the soil is and don't water down directly inside of these cups where moisture could accumulate in between the leaves and stay there for prolonged periods of time. So if you follow these steps, these plants can survive for decades inside of your home or office. Just make sure that you are giving them the proper care, and after a while, you may need to repot them into a larger pot size. And as always, if you like this type of content, make sure that you are commenting, and sharing, and following the page.